Don't miss out. Global poker is buzzing with nonstop action. From social poker and slots to exciting new tournaments and exclusive offers. Your friends are already in on the fun. Are you? Sign up today for your free welcome offer and unlock the thrill within. Play anytime, anywhere. And don't let your chance to redeem some serious prizes slip away. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. T&Cs apply.
Welcome to Don't Cop Out, the show that challenges everything you think you know about public safety. I'm your host, William C. Anderson. Each episode, I'll introduce you to a community safety responder who's leading the charge in creating alternatives to policing. Together, we'll debunk common myths about what keeps us unsafe and introduce you to the people proving that true safety doesn't require a badge or a gun. Today, I'm speaking with Darius Crockett of Baton Rouge Community Street Team. Let's get into it. Welcome, Darius. How you doing today?
What's going on, big brother? How you doing, man? How you doing today?
I'm good. So I'm really excited to be talking to you, and this conversation's been a long time coming. And one of the things I want to do is just kind of jump right into talking about some of the myths and misconceptions that might come with the type of work that you do.
Okay.
So many people believe that the police are the only way to respond to safety concerns. How would you say that you might challenge that idea through your work?
Well, I would say through this community violence intervention strategy that we're using here in Baton Rouge, I would say it's very instrumental because we're able to get in, and not only are we able to get intel, we're able to stop certain situations to keep people from getting themselves into situations with the justice system. So we really a compliment to the police department if they really want to look at it, because when we come on scene and somebody been murdered and y'all out there dealing with a family and it's yellow tape up, y'all don't necessarily know how to deal with the people on the other side of the yellow tape, opposed to somebody that's from the community, know the community, able to give vital information while on scene to let them know, hey man, listen, I know it's your brother over there, your daddy, or whoever. We got resources for you and your family. The police, they're not going to tell us about the resources. They just going to tell us about victim services. They got other entities out here that's helping provide and give resource and aid to people that need these resources within the community that the police, that's not their job to do.
So if safety doesn't have to involve the police, then what should it look like in terms of those resources you're pointing people to and providing that the police don't necessarily provide?
Those resources should be ready and available for individuals that's been shot, individuals that's victims of crime, individuals that need just resources just to stop them from committing the crime. The police, they don't do those mitigating factors to be able to source all that out. Everything they do is reactive and not proactive. And this is not to down our police department, because I'm still of the one mind thinking, hey man, we do need police. We don't want to just defund police, get rid of them, because they do play a role in society into keeping things in order. But when it comes down to understanding the people that you are servicing, they fall short, based on them not having the right training and them not having the right know-how of how to attach people to resources. So what does it look like when you attach people to resources? Okay, you 17 years old, you're going to high school, you got a gun. Okay, listen, that gun you got, you might be dangerous with that. And you're in 9th grade. So what are your alternatives? You go talk to the police, they're going to say, hey man, listen, you got that gun, we want to incarcerate you if you carrying that gun illegally. But opposed to a person that's doing CVI work, going to say, hey man, you got that gun? Hey, listen, I'm not telling you to put the gun down, but we telling you, bro, listen, come on with me. We can get you in GED school. We can help you get the resume together. And we can help you, man, try to get you a place of employment to try to keep you from being around these certain situations that's going to have you using that gun.
You said something that was really important there that I want to touch on. You spoke to this idea of, the police being completely obsolete, and like, if they weren't there, and the lack of order or the lack of structure. And I think that it's important to understand that, for people who are very critical of policing, that maybe it's not necessarily that everyone's saying that they would want the police to just suddenly disappear.
Right.
But what you touched on when you said that the police were reactive and not proactive, I think is really crucial in understanding the kind of path that the type of work you do could create. So if you're creating an environment where there is more proactive community work happening,
Right.
I think that it could potentially, and I know other people feel that it could potentially create a world where there wasn't a need for the type of policing that we're used to. Because if we're meeting those problems on the front end, instead of just reacting to the bad things that are already happening, that might be able to change the whole environment and change the whole society, right?
Right.
So how does your organization respond to situations that prevents violence before it becomes that bigger problem like you're talking about?
Okay. A lot of violence start at the schoolhouses. That's where these kids get their first immediate beef from. When they go to school, they having conflict and they don't know how to handle conflict. So those beefs spill out to the streets. So what we do as a program, not only do we respond to homicides and shootings and things like that in our community to try to bring aid to those individuals, but we working at the schools. We do something called safe passage. We working there at the high times, at lunch breaks. When they fighting, we breaking up fights. We talking to parents. We getting with parents, letting them know, hey, we talking to your son. We talking to your daughter. When they come back to school, we're gonna do a restorative circle with both of the kids to get them to understand what conflict resolution look like. We understand y'all got issues. As you get older in life, we all gonna have issues with other individuals. You can't avoid it, you can't duck it. That's just part of life. But what we can do is put a strategy in place. Is when these kids are having these problems, bro, let them fight. They gonna fight. We can't stop them from fighting. But what we can do is avoid them from seeing each other in the street and want to kill each other. So what do we do? Hey, man, let's put this person on your caseload. I'm going to put this guy on my caseload. I'm going to talk to him every day. Hey, man, what you got going on? You okay? Hey, look, I'm finna come pull up on you. We need to talk. What your 3 goals is. Let's get into some goal building, opposed to getting into your problems at the school with the beefing. No, listen, man, we got somebody over there talking to the person you had a fight with already. So you good with squashing that? Y'all ain't got no more issues? No, I ain't got no more issues, Mr. Darius. All right, cool. Y'all ain't got no more issues, so we can sit down and talk. All right, let's sit down and talk. So through that experiment and doing that, we have saw that's how we can help these kids understand that you don't have to go kill nobody based on how you feel, because your thoughts and your feelings is 2 different things. So as a program, we make sure we do strong interventions within our school systems to make sure we getting ahead of things before it hit the street.
Beautiful, beautiful. So how would you react to people who are skeptics, who think that maybe some people are just bad and they're not going to change, or that intervention is not going to do anything to keep a situation from getting worse? What do you say to skeptics and people who think that it's a waste of time or that the work isn't worth it?
Well, I would say, hey, man, look, go down there to your city and go look at your police budget and look at the whole thing and say, hey, man, is anything on that police thing that we pay for, is it truly, truly working? Then you come over here with the CVI, you say, hey, the things y'all doing at the schools, is it truly working? Well, I got data points from what I extracted from my data and from the results I done got from my youth. They no longer beefing with that individual. When they see each other, they shaking hands now. We all in a circle at the school. We all talking now. We got relationships that we building within within the community. That's the framework of what we need for the future. When these kids get older and things going on, they have people they can call to say, hey, this is going on, man. I know what y'all did for us at school when we was coming up. So, bro, you think you come over here, bro, and see what's going on? I really need to tell you about this. So now we're going to get vital information that the police will never get based off relationships that we building over the years with the people that we involved with. And these people that's involved are the people that y'all say y'all want to incarcerate. But we catching them before they even get to incarceration stages. We getting them when they at juvenile. I had one of them, he doing 6 months right now in juvenile for a gun. But it's been numerous times where I talk with this kid, had interventions with this kid. But sometimes these kids choose to make these decisions, and they got to live with them. You got to understand that part of the game too. So I would say if you a spectator, man, you need to really go examine it and understand what it is that we're doing, because we're not trying to take from the police. The biggest misconception is that the CVI is trying to replace the police. When we never came out and said that. We said, hey, man, we want to work complementarily with the police. We just don't give information because that could destroy what we're doing because our community trusts us. We the bridge, man, that people could walk through to build trust, to be able to get whatever it is they try to get off their chest or whatever resources that they need so they can be vital people in the community, man. Don't have to feel like they're under pressure.
So what are some of the misconceptions then, some of the misunderstandings people have of what you actually do? You talked about people being spectators on the outside looking in. What would you explain to people about what you actually do as opposed to what people think you might do?
Well, people think, in some community too, they think we the police by the way we organize, by the way we do our protocols, we respond to dispatch. So the biggest misconception is getting people to understand that just because we out here for community, that don't mean that we're working with law enforcement. So that's one misconception. Two, the second misconception is they feel like it's not working. They feel like this strategy doesn't work. When really, they got evidence-based information from out of different cities that this model worked. So that's another misconception. Three, we got an administration that's in office now, which we all know they crazy out their mind up there. We got administration that's in office that's pushing police, but not pushing community.
Mm-hmm.
When the last 4 years, man, that's all we've been pushing this community. So the misconceptions is they know how to lead with bad information and make people believe what they say is what's best for the community when they never asked the community what was best for them.
How do you navigate those false beliefs? How do you correct the information? How do you make it right?
Educating people on what we're doing, opposed to getting mad and frustrated with you. Let me educate you on what I'm doing, because you might not have a full picture and a full scope of what we're doing and how I'm handling 10 people on my caseload, and 3 of them going to get GEDs, 3 of them just came to a job fair that we just hosted so they can get jobs. 2 of them got ankle monitors on because they in the system. So these individuals that we dealing with, man, we actually servicing and helping these people in a way that the system would never. We not probation officers. We community members. I was just like the young men that I work with. I dropped out of high school. I got a GED. I used to tote guns. I used to sell drugs. I used to do all these things. So I understand what angle you getting at whenever you get off the porch and you trying to do these things. So we mitigating and we stopping these things, or at least trying to stop them, to prevent them from not going down the path that we went down.
Coming up,
everybody knows how to put themselves in each other's shoes. It's just we choose not to. And when we choose not to is when we really ignoring the fact that we all come from the same source.
Hey, Fidelity. What's it cost to invest with the Fidelity app?
Start with as little as $1 with no account fees or trade commissions on U.S. stocks and ETFs.
That's music to my ears.
I can only talk.
investing involves risk, including risk of loss. Zero account fees apply to retail brokerage accounts only. Sell order assessment fee not included. A limited number of ETFs are subject to a transaction-based service fee of $100. See full list at fidelity.com/commissions. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC, member NYSE SIPC.
Avoiding your unfinished home projects because you're not sure where to start? Thumbtack knows homes, so you don't have to. Don't know the difference between matte paint finish and satin? Or what that clunking sound from your dryer is? With Thumbtack, you don't have to be a home pro. You just have to hire one. You can hire top-rated pros, see price estimates, and read reviews, all on the app. Download today.
So I want to move into some of the strengths and great aspects of the work you do, and really get into a lot of the positive aspects of this work. So the Baton Rouge Community Street Team describes violence as a public health issue. What does that mean in practice?
Well, in practice, that means when people are being killed, whenever gun violence happens in our community, we see that the same way as we see COVID. It's an epidemic because people being killed by guns way quicker than diseases and things of that nature, as far as what we see in our community, just on the surface level. So in practice, that means that we taking the knowledge and information that we have and we applying it to the field and to the people that we working with, and we making sure that we getting the data, we making sure we working with our individuals, and we making sure that we doing everything that we supposed to do inside the framework of what we have created within the community. So we make sure that we doing everything logistically right, far as from the grant standpoint. And then from the standpoint of community, we making sure we accountable with making sure we following up with mentees, make sure we going out to dispatches, make sure we go to homicide scenes, contact families, use your LTOs to make sure that we have everything that we need. So when the people ask, hey, what are y'all doing? Got a full report of everything that we doing and how we doing it. So our program, which the Baton Rouge Community Street Team, actually started with Agile Planning Solution. Soteria started the program back in 2021 after she took a trip to New Jersey and met with Akila Sherrills. And he told her about the North Community Street Team and said, hey, man, I think this would be a great model because we already seen some proven results from this. So she came down, started her own Baton Rouge Community Street Team under Agile, and she just basically used the same methods that they used in New Jersey. We just used it down here. We just changed it up a little bit to fit where we at.
Yeah, there seems like there's a whole network that's tapped in where people are actually communicating across cities, across states, and the model is spreading in a really beneficial way. And I appreciate what you said about thinking about it like COVID, like like a disease, because if that's the case, it seems like communities are sharing information the same way that different people in public health who are battling disease would share things to prevent the spread of that disease and to be able to have a vaccine so other folks don't get sick with it. So I appreciate how you broke that down.
Definitely, most definitely.
I really am curious too in understanding as well, how do you define safety personally and also organizationally? Maybe you can kind of speak to both how you feel about safety just as an individual and how your organization feels about defining safety.
When I was younger, I go from when I was young. When I was younger, I thought safety was having a gun and having it with me all the time. That was safety. But now that I'm 32, older, mature, and understand life more, I understand that safety is about things you put around you to keep you secure. Having a gun is fine. It's all about the use of the gun. So having a gun, nothing wrong with that. It's about training people on how to make, things to be safe with the gun. How to actually break down the gun training. Another rule of safety is I'm looking at my environment. Where do I live? If I'm living in the ghetto, I'm living in the hood, then hey man, I need to have me some weapons. I need to have a few things to keep people from coming in my house just in case I have a few things. Opposed to if I stay on the other side of town where it's nice, I don't necessarily have to worry about nobody breaking in my home. I don't necessarily have to worry about keeping the gun on me every time I'm walking out my door because the environmental situations.
So based on your work, what would a healthy community look like, feel like, sound like to you?
A healthy community is when things happen, before things transpire, we able to get a call. Or another community organization, it don't have to be just us. A community organization can get the call, and we can be the responders before violence break out, especially like domestic violence, stuff like that. Things that can be avoided. We can't stop a drive-by. You just shooting up somebody's house, I'm like, okay, we can't really stop that because you made a decision already when you jumped in the car. But, and we can work with those people that's trying to hop in the car. Say, man, don't say, bro, getting in that car, bro, you commit that murder. This the time you're facing, bro. This the consequences you're going to have. So, man, you might not really want to do that. These things is what can make our communities better. We have people that's preventing things that's happening that's right on the ground with the people. All the time, we're not on the ground with the people. So what do we have to do? We have to go in our community and say, hey, man, we got trainings. Hey, man, we want all y'all to come, man. You say you're an LTO, you're OG in the community. Man, we need to train you on this conflict resolution. So when you're selling your drugs, you're doing your thing out here, and you see problems occurring, that's going to mess up your drug trade, you'll be able to stop it. We're not trying to stop drug selling. We're trying to stop killing. We're trying to stop blacks from harming blacks. Because the police, you already know, they'll kill us and we'll uprise about it. And we got the right to uprise about it. But, man, I would like to see our communities, man, when we kill each other, man. Hey, man, I feel the same anger and frustration that I felt when that white dude killed Alvin Sterling at the store. Now, I'm going to run this scenario. He got killed at the store, right? That Triple S right here on North Foster in our community. And the whole community rallied up and said, hey, man, listen, this is wrong. Police, man, we got to put belt their ass. Let's go. But, man, 4 years later, a young man was gunned down in front of that same store. He got gunned down by 3 people. No community outcry. Nobody was angry. It wasn't no upset feelings. Everybody was saying it is what it is. But damn, bro, just about 4 or 5 years ago, man, police killed dude in front of the store, bro. Everybody was in front of the store acting like it's World War. So that's what I want to see our communities transform into. Man, we mad about everything that we know ain't right. Even if the police kill, that ain't right. But if you kill, that ain't right. So I would like to see our communities get to a point of accountability opposed to just letting things fly by.
Coming up next.
That's how we can help these kids understand that you don't have to go kill nobody based on how you feel. Because your thoughts and your feelings is 2 different things.
Ready to level up? Chumba Casino is your playbook to fun. It's free to play with no purchase necessary. Enjoy hundreds of online social games like blackjack, slots, and solitaire anytime, anywhere with fresh releases every week. Whether you're at home or on the go, let Chumba Casino bring the excitement to you. Plus, get free daily login bonuses and a free welcome bonus. Join now for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. Play Chumba Casino today. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21+. TNCs apply. Ready to level up? Chumba Casino is your playbook to fun. It's free to play with no purchase necessary. Enjoy hundreds of online social games like blackjack, slots, and solitaire anytime, anywhere with fresh releases every week. Whether you're at home or on the go, let Chumba Casino bring the excitement to you. Plus, get free daily login bonuses and a free welcome bonus. Join now for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. Play Chumba Casino today. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21+. TNCs apply.
Let's talk about what the work actually is and the mission of your organization, as well as the day-to-day activities. How would you describe the mission of your organization? What is it?
The mission of our organization is to try to save lives by directing them to resources and also helping them with life skills. Our goal is to get people from the mindset of wanting to harm to the mindset of want to do some good and change their lives and transform their lives, because that's what I'm contracted to do. That's what my contract actually says. Got to transform lives 360. So that means you meet them and they living somewhere and they live in a certain kind of way. By the time you finish dealing with them, they should have some information on how to get up out this situation. Even if you can't get them out of the situation, at least give them the information. A lot of times we get caught up on trying to complete something with our mentee. Yeah, you was good to complete something with them. That's awesome. But listen, man, you got them down there to the GED school and got them enrolled. All right, that's perfect. That's awesome. You got them enrolled. That's the best thing you could have did for them. Now it's on them to follow suit and follow through. So our program, we base a lot of our stuff which within ourselves, accountability. If you doing something that you know you're not supposed to be doing with the mentee, bro, we're gonna address it. Nah, bro, you gotta steer this young man the right way. We don't want them to think we some street guys and we in the streets and all this. No, we not in the street. We trying to get them out the street. Our program is to get them out the street into positivity and transform their lives 360.
That's amazing, Darius. And so I want to ask you about some of the roles within the organization and just ask you to explain them to me and really, take into consideration for folks who might be hearing this and have never even heard of the position or the role. Just try to make it as clear to them as possible what this role would be fulfilling.
Gotcha.
So can you tell me first, what is a high-risk interventionist?
A high-risk interventionist is a person that got lived experiences from our community that either been incarcerated or been shot or shot at people, or you just known in the city and everybody know you. You're known face, good face card. And what the role of HRI is, when a murder or a shooting happen in our community, your job is to respond on scene in real time and go get real intel to figure out how we can stop or prevent the next shooting. So if anybody listen to this all over the country, If you got people in your community that you know in your family, when things go down in your family, and y'all know y'all call that one person to get this thing solved, that's what the HRI person does for the community. They the peacemaker. They the peace ambassadors, and everybody in the community know them. They know them for their background, but now they know them for doing what they do now. So it makes people trust them. From HRI, you go to the community navigators, which that's what I am. I'm a community navigator lead. I started off HRI, but I moved up. Thank God. All glory be to God. And in that role, my job is to oversee all the cases. So I know who you're working with. I know how you're working with them. I know what resources you ain't got for them. And I'm checking your data to make sure you're putting in all your entries that you need to put in for the, grant requirements. So we make sure we on point with that. As community navigators, with resource and make sure people got jobs. They need some kind of mental health resource. We try to get them that. And we only got 2 people in those roles. So I'm the lead, then we got Ms. Linda. And then we go to our program coordinator. Program coordinator oversees the CN and HRI team to make sure everything flowing correctly, make sure everything efficient, checking back with HRI lead, CN lead, make sure data points is good, make sure we're in the community doing our accounts and our water holding, and referring back information to our program operator manager and our program director. Our program operator make sure all our time in, make sure grant requirements are being fulfilled, make sure deliverables are being created and fulfilled, and just make sure everybody on the team and the program coordinator is on point. And the final role is the program director, which is Satiri, the owner. And what she do, she oversees the whole program from a holistic standpoint. She run her operation from day to day, just doing, the boss. She the boss, so she doing all the boss things. So that's basically how our organization is structured and ran. And we work at the schools as well. I don't want to leave that part out. We work at the schools all school year long. We there Monday, Tuesday, Thursdays, and Fridays.
Can you tell me about the community walks and the community public safety roundtables y'all do too?
The community walks, we do those Tuesdays and Fridays. On Tuesdays, we do water holding. Water holding when you posted up in front of the store, passing out flyers, what's happening, brother? What's good? Hey, man, I got a son. He 15, man. I really need to get him some help, bro. I got to go to work. My wife, bro, she can't really. All right, bro, give me your number, bro. We're going to try to see what we can do. That's what our water holding is for, to engage with community, because in our community, the store is where people migrate. Our community walks, we leave flyers indoors because our community don't sit outside like talking about. So our campuses, I wouldn't say they not effective, but our water holding is what we effective at. And our public safety roundtable meeting, we got that tonight, actually. And y'all want to join online and kind of hear the conversation about what we got. And with that, we had the police come and they do a readout of our area. Hey, man, we had 20 car break-ins. We seized 50 guns. We made 30 felony arrests. Woo, this is going up. This is going down. And this is what we see. All right, cool. So we come in with our readout. Hey, man, we done performed 15 interventions. We done walked. We done did 10 community canvases and water holding. We're working with 30 plus mentees, and we provided resources to 5 of our mentees within the last 30 days. So with that, it gives a hand in hand of showing how we working together to solve some of these things. Y'all working on the perspective of crime and incarceration. We working on the side of helping to build some structure, some infrastructure, so people won't have to go get incarcerated. They can be living their lives freely as God would want them to live. So our public safety meeting is open for the public. Anybody come through. It ain't just about shooting and killing. Some of this stuff is about what's going on at your home. Hey, man, I got somebody across the street, but they got water running in their house, and they know they're not supposed to be running their water like that, and it's draining out the street. Okay, that's an issue. That's a community issue that's being raised here that we need to find out how we can help this person address this. Little small things like that go a long way, because that person in the public safety roundtable meeting that you're talking to is going to be very, very instrumental when things go on that street. If a shooting happened, hey, man, I'm finna call Darius over there and see if they can come pull up over here if we don't get the dispatch. Hey, man, they got a shooting, bro, right across the street, brother. The dudes over there, they 17, 18 years old, bro. They really need some help. And if y'all can get over there to help them, man, I appreciate it. That's the role of community and what the public safety roundtable meeting could do for our community.
So you all employ non-traditional community leaders. How does your team's background as formerly incarcerated people and formerly folks who are formerly engaged in the drug trade make you uniquely effective in this work?
Because you're able to identify. Like me, I can identify a rap when you want to rap. You know, I can identify when you want, you're hustling, selling drugs, when you're out here trying to do your thing. I could read all this, smoking weed. I can read all that because I understand that. Now, if you're talking about somebody that's been incarcerated and they come home and they see things different than what I'm going to see it. Because they've been incarcerated so long. I've been out here living in the world, but I've been surviving and, doing my thing how I do it. But I think the people that did the jail time are the most important people to this work. Because what they bringing you the real stuff that go on back here when you ain't ready for. So these people that did that time able to come home and give the testimony of what happened. Hey, man, listen, don't go there, bro, because this, that, and that happened back there. And I don't think you built for that. So these conversations help steer people off the path of thinking that they're ready for something that they're not. So that's when these guys are very vital when it comes down to preaching and talking and also giving resources and helping these people. Because while we're helping you, we're giving you game at the same time. So these people having this time and did that time coming home, they're very, very important to the CVI work.
So what training would a high-risk interventionist have, for example, that would equip them to be able to handle and perceive that danger in other ways or differently than other people would?
As an organization, we all got the training, the PCITI training from a peculiar brochure. We all got the training, all the acronyms that we need, the SOPs, standard operating protocols, standard operating guidelines, everything that we're going to need to be safe while we out conducting these responses and out here conducting interventions and preventions and mediations. We want to make sure we got something in place that's keeping us safe that we could reflect back on and say, hey, man, remember your protocols. Remember your safety points. Remember all this because it's going to be very, very important to you whenever we out in the field and you out here guiding community and trying to teach them how to be safe. So now you got something that you could pivot off of to say, hey, man, I got this training right here and this taught me how to do this. So now I'm going to teach you how to do this. So it could be hand in hand depending on the individual that got the knowledge and the information.
A lot of people, as you spoke about, feel a strong distrust and a lot of anxiety about policing, especially in Black and marginalized communities. Why do you think it is that it's such a habit and a reflex for a lot of people to think to go to the police first before they might come to you in many instances?
It's been put into our minds. 911, that's the first response to a crisis. 911. Ever since you was a little kid, they say, hey, man, what you want to be? Firefighter or police? You going to pick one. I'm going to be firefighter. I don't want to be no police. And then one of them say, hey, man, I want to be police. So we been embedded into this thing to say, hey, man, anything going on, man, if your girl at the house tripping, and, man, she took the keys and she doing all this crazy stuff, bro, call police, bro, police come over there, bro, take care of all that. Until you find out, when they get there, they say, hey, listen, we don't respond to nothing like this. If we come in and incarcerate, that make you feel like, hey, man, damn, man, I called y'all out here to try to get some help. But really, you come out here and threaten me and tell me you're going to put me in jail. And really, I'm having a mental health situation going on. So having the police to identify, they don't know how to identify trauma and things that's going on within the framework of the community because they not in here. They don't understand this stuff that's going on. To them, this is some crazy stuff, and they need to be put in jail, and they need to be put somewhere where they ain't around nobody doing nothing that they feel is wrong. So the community with the police, like when even people come into the public safety meeting, they don't come in the public safety meeting talking about the gun violence in the community most of the time. They come in and talk about what the police done done. But we say, hey, man, so, okay, you say the police did this to you, right? What street the police did this to you on? Oh, man, they did it over there on 44th. Okay. Where your report at? Did you go file a report on the police officer? What things did you do to make sure that you got your justice? Opposed to coming into a public safety meeting complaining about the police and what the police did. No, it's steps you can take to get all this corrected. In our community, A lot of times they fail to understand that part of it because 9 10 don't have the time, got to go to work.
I really appreciated one of the aspects of what you shared in the scenario that you laid out there about, if you have a potential domestic dispute going on and the police show up and you realize that they're just there to incarcerate and to, be punitive.
Right.
If we're thinking about the situation like that, it seems like you're talking about addressing harm in ways that do not compound the harm, that do not make it worse. So can you kind of say what you would do differently to de-escalate a situation instead of creating more harm? Because a lot of times, people call the police and it ends up, being somebody that is getting locked up. They get killed. They get into a worse fight. Then you have to pay money. You got to, pay court fees. There's all of these things that come with that.
Right.
So you're talking about not compounding the harm. Can you break down what it means for somebody who's listening to this to be able to understand what it means to de-escalate and not compound the harm, not make it worse?
First thing, when you pull up on the scene, or when you pull up anywhere and some conflict going on, we all know, man, you want to be the one that present the most peace. You want to be the one to come in and say, hey, man, listen, we're going to set this, we're going to separate you, bring you over here, bring this one over here. Hey, man, what's going on? Oh, man, my girlfriend brushed, she threw a hammer at my head, bro, and I tried to duck and hit me in my ear. And now I went over there and slapped her in the head, bro, and now she called police on me, bro. All right, well, listen, man, both of y'all, bro, in the wrong because y'all both in there committing violence towards each other. But to solve this is what we want to do, man. You got anybody house you can go to tonight? Oh, man, I can go to my brother Leroy's house. Okay, cool. Go to brother Leroy's house tonight. That way we can stop this here. A lot of times the police get there and say, hey, we're going to take you to jail. We're going to leave you here. And we're going to let this one come bond you out. No, nobody's going to jail. Let's kill that play. Nobody's going to jail tonight. What's going to happen is you're going to go to your people's house and she's going to go back in that house. And then tomorrow, by law, I feel like this should be by law, y'all have to come to this space that's designated in community for y'all to deal with y'all conflicts and figure out what's the source of y'all problems. Because this is free. This is free counseling sessions that we need in our community to stop this stuff. And this is required for you to be here. Ain't no getting out of it. And then once we start laying down that kind of framework for people to be able to express themselves about what's wrong and still have options if they want to leave. Okay, you want to leave this situation? Okay, you don't like living in the hood? Okay, this is not a good situation for you. Well, look, man, we got different plans and things. You can go live over here, but you got to have your job. You got to have a certain amount of things going for yourself for us to be able to provide this resource. So I think our communities need a chance to have something different offered to them. Opposed to, man, we get there, man, who did the hitting? All right, come on, let's go to jail. No, man, that creates the situation even worse, because now you go to jail, he finna call the same woman that put him in there to come get him out of there. Then you're going to put a protective order on him, and then he break the protective order, you're going to put him back in jail. So that don't really work for the situation. That's not fixing it. All you're doing is putting a problem on top of a problem. And I think that's something that our communities really need, man. Another kind of option, opposed to just getting incarcerated, man.
So let's talk about some of the more personal aspects of all this. We'd like to know how this feels for you and what things have looked like on the ground. So can you share a story? I mean, you've shared tidbits here and there, but can you share a story where your team's intervention directly prevented violence or changed someone's life? I would love to hear a really powerful story that comes to mind for you.
We was working with this public record. This is public record. They got this family called the McDowell family. The brother killed the sister, killed the little sister, and he shot the bigger sister. And they all was at the hospital. So we went to the hospital. This is our first time doing a hospital visit with somebody that got shot. So when we went to the hospital, man, we was able to meet the whole family. We was able to get to know everybody, and through that, we was able to find out what actually truly happened with the family. So with that, we was able to find out the brother. Okay, the brother, he's still out here moving around. Okay, look, man, we need to try to find out how we put a button on that so he can be in jail because he just killed your sister and shot you. Okay, so boom, we help facilitate the family, help them move out one spot, we help them move to this spot. Light bill need to be paid. We paid 2 out of 3 sisters' light bills. The kids needed clothes. We know they gave diapers and clothes. And then the brother finally went to jail, and then we was able to get the family together to help them do a restorative session so they can be at peace with each other for the whole situation. So I would say we was able to stop the family from having deeper conflict within their family due to what the brother then did by killing the baby sister and shot the big sister and one sister trying to defend the brother. So we was able to effectively stop them from beefing. We was able to get them resources, and we was able to guide the family into a better space. Now I want to share something else, one that's not a solution, but one that went left. I had a young man that I was working with. He was from out my neighborhood, so it was a little bit more sentimental to me. He decided he wanted to come to New Orleans. I was already in New Orleans. I was at the Bayou Classic. He was at the Bayou Classic. I gave him a ticket for him and his little partners to go into the game and enjoy the game. You know, hey man, you ain't in the hood. We out here in New Orleans, bro. We having a good time, brother. Eat some popcorn. You know what I mean? Do your thing. So I went to my hotel room. Me and my lady went to the hotel room. I told him, bro, y'all got guns on you. Bro, just bring them to my room, bro. Put them down there in the lockbox, bro. Y'all gonna have y'all some fun. Because I know what kind of time that you be on. And I'm trying to avoid this. I didn't know you brought no gun. So I tried to avoid him from having to go, oh, no, big brother, we good, man. We good, bro. We straight. All right, little brother, you know what I'm saying? You 16, you doing your thing. All right, cool. Go ahead, do your thing. Just be careful, bro. So I took a nap. I woke up and looked on my phone. It said a 15-year-old killed somebody on Canal in New Orleans. And my mind went straight to him. So I went to calling his phone, blowing his phone up, I wasn't getting no answer. So I called his grandmother. I said, hey, man, I'm trying to get in touch with your Kyrie. What's going on? Oh, the police got him. He just killed the man out there in New Orleans. I said, damn. Just when I just brought you the packet, just a week before to get you the job. Schedule you the ID appointment to get the ID. And then you turn around, man, and you do this. So now he got 25 to life. And it's a sad situation. And it really hurt me because I felt like I was on a path with him that I was going to really be able to help that kid. And when he did that really broke me. I shed some tears behind him because I really was invested in him. So it's good points and bad points to this work when you really trying to help people.
Thanks for sharing that, Darius. That's really deep, and I appreciate you opening up about that because you would have to be carrying a lot of personal trauma and a lot of weight. You're speaking very casually about some really traumatic and intense situations. So I appreciate you bringing that honesty and that vulnerability to the space to be able to tell people just how much you go through seeing these things on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah, man. This spirit-led work, like Onsatilio always say, this spirit-led work, you can't come in this space and you just doing this for a paycheck because that's going to run dry. Just like every job. After your second or third check, man, you damn near ready to get out of there. Do something different. Your entrepreneurial spirit kicks in. But doing something like this, man, it's so worth it, man. From crying to tears to the happy moments, to seeing people be successful, all the way to people going through stuff when they go to jail. It's all the reason. It's all the purpose. And I'm a prayerful guy. I believe in God. I believe in Jesus. And I try to put that, to my mentees as well. I try not to push too much religion, but I believe once you got a good grounding in God and a good understanding on life, then you could prepare yourself to go help people, no matter if you got a lot of money or a bunch of money. It's just all about your spirit and how you're able to pour into people. So this is spirit-led work opposed to being led by just data and trying to pat stats and boxes.
Accepting insurance without the support of a group practice can be tough, but most people looking for mental health care want to use their benefits to pay for sessions. If you're interested in seeing clients through insurance, Alma can help. They make it easy to get credentialed with major insurance plans at enhanced reimbursement rates. They also handle all the paperwork, from eligibility checks to claim submissions, and guarantee payment within 2 weeks. Visit HelloAlma.com to get started. That's HelloAlma.com.
Out here, it's not only the amazing views, but the way time stretches out a little longer and how the breeze hits just right at the summit. With All Trails, you can discover nature's best with over 450,000 trails around the world. Download the free app today.
I want to move into really like a lightning round that we call 60 seconds with a safety expert.
Okay.
I'll ask you a series of rapid fire questions, and your job is to keep your answers short, sweet, and powerful. So just think of it like, dropping gems. All right. So you ready?
I'm ready. Yes, sir.
So what's your name?
Darius.
What do you do?
I'm an outreach worker for the Baton Rouge Community Street Team, Community Navigator.
What's one myth about community safety you want to shut down?
That we the police.
What's a safer way to respond to conflict besides calling the cops?
By calling a community organization or calling somebody in your family that you know could dispute the situation.
Who actually benefits from the current policing system?
The police.
What does safety mean to you personally?
Safety means you have a safe place to live, you have a safe place to roam, and your freedom and everything that's near and dear to you is safe and secure.
What does a successful community response look like in 3 words?
Real-time intervention.
What's at stake if we don't invest in police alternatives?
You're going to get the same results you've been getting. You're going to have less leadership from community and more people that have been doing the same thing they've been doing for the whole run. It's going to be continuous of that.
What's one resource everyone listening should know about?
Victim services, rental assistance, light bill assistance, any kind of assistance to help you from committing a crime. You should know about these resources and be able to have these resources readily available to you in every community all over the country.
What's one action listeners can take today to support police alternatives?
By supporting the community violence intervention work or any kind of outreach work that's being done, even if it's restorative justice. All these things need community support and need to be community-led, opposed to somebody that's not even from where we from. Not saying that somebody from where we from is not good with the work, because, man, I done seen people that's not even from nowhere in the streets come in and do work that's valuable. So, yeah, that's how I would answer that one, bro. I know it's supposed to be short.
You good. What's a question we should all be asking more often?
What made you do that?
Finish this sentence. We don't need the police when we have blank.
We don't need the police when we have community groups who are willing to do the work.
What's the word you would use to describe the future of safety?
Harmony.
What do you say to someone who's afraid of change?
You should try.
Wow. Great. You killed that. So just to keep it moving, set the scene for us. What was it like the moment you decided to get involved?
Well, I was working on another job, and I read in the newspaper. Man, we got a community meeting we doing at the Gus Young gym. I'm like, they doing a community meeting at the Gus Young gym, 100 black men. So I get down there, and I say, and they was talking. I raised my hand. I said, hey, man, y'all got 100 black men in here, but I only see 2 men in here with suits. That's a problem. And then I told him, I say, hey, bro, what's going on out here in the community? Y'all in here talking about this. What y'all gonna do? I'm telling you, nah. Them dudes out there, they running as individuals and as groups. Them dudes don't care nothing about what y'all talking about up here. So what y'all gotta do is go get individuals like myself, go get individuals that's been incarcerated, and go get individuals that's in the streets actively. You gotta get these people in order to do this kind of work. Cause the people that these people is gonna listen to. You gonna come down there and they not gonna listen to they gonna respect you coming down. Hey man, appreciate you coming down. You know what I'm saying? Good to see our elected officials coming through, tapping in. Yeah, it's good. We love that. But we not finna tell you about these drugs. We not finna tell you about these guns. We ain't finna tell you about this shooting. We ain't finna tell you none of that. So the work that they wanted to do, they needed the community to be able to get it done.
That makes complete and total sense.
Yeah.
And I wanna kind of bring some perspective from what you mentioned earlier in here about like the kind of current state of things in the country and the world we're living in right now.
Right.
So we're living in some very turbulent and scary times, and let's at least bring some of the aspects of that into focus before we wrap up and talk about how it informs what's going on with the work you do. So, with initiatives like Cop City in Atlanta and nationwide calls to fund the police louder than ever,
Right.
as you mentioned. Have you experienced or are you concerned about any direct threats like funding cuts or policy rollbacks to your work?
Actually, experiencing that here in Baton Rouge, the cuts. We had another program. They got cut out all the way. They got the letter of termination. Your services over with, the grant over with. So we dealing with cutbacks from the Trump administration because they saying certain things don't align with what they want, which what they want is policing. They think what we doing is not an effective strategy, and then it comes from the Biden's administration. By being under Biden, I feel like he didn't even really care if it was effective or not. It just under Biden, I don't want it. I want police. That's what I believe in, the police. His whole run been police. So this country now is at a place to where it's more people thinking outside of the box. Back in the 70s and 80s, he might have could have ran that play, and that play would be efficient. But now in the days climate, that don't make no sense to the people no more. So that's why he getting pushed back on what he doing, and the CVI groups are fighting. That's the best thing about what we got going on, because we know how to fight. They went filed a lawsuit, and they actually going through with it, and I feel like they're gonna win because we have been doing the work. There's some data to prove the work that we've been doing, and the community really need people like this out doing this kind of work. So for it to be cut, man, it was heartbreaking. It's hard. I hate to see people that put in all the work and put in all the time to where they can't even get a paycheck no more for all the work that they doing when they already not getting paid for what it is that they doing. They paying you $1,000, but man, you went out there and did $4,000 worth of life-saving work. So you're not even getting compensated for what it is that you were doing. But you're not doing this for money. You're doing this strictly on the soul that, man, you want to help people. So when that get cut, that affects everybody. You can't be as effective as you was when you was taking care of your bills and everything that you had going. Now you got to find out how to get another job and still do what you're doing because you love to do what you do. So these are the issues that people are facing across the country when it comes down to these grants being slashed, and these communities not being supported by this administration.
We're seeing the phrase soft on crime as something that people are perpetuating related to a lot of what you're talking about. What's a message to leaders who fear backlash for pursuing the type of police alternatives and community intervention work you're talking about? What message would you have for people who are maybe scared to take that step forward?
I would say don't be scared. You only got one life to live. And the one thing you want to do is be standing on the side of right. And what's right, man, is what's best for all people. What's best for all the people, man? If people saying they want to have a community violence program in their community, man, give them that. Don't take that away from them, because that's what they want. Just like y'all want y'all police, y'all want to have them in blue uniform with guns and batons and riding around with new cars and all this thing. Well, listen, why don't y'all pour that 10% of what y'all got into these community hubs that we got? We don't need that much money. We just need enough to sustain and be able to do what we do to help the community, to avoid a lot of these things that's going on. But they don't want to do that. They don't want to do that. That's not their ideal, because they think that's being soft on crime. How is that being soft on crime when you're trying to bring a solution before a crime even happened? See, they want incarceration. We want to put you in jail, because that's how we make our money. That's how we get our numbers. This is how we able to run this country. And this is how we keep things rolling, by keeping y'all incarcerated and keeping you away from things that we know is going to keep you from being incarcerated. So I feel like that's our biggest fight.
For sure. So the media can distort work like what you do. And I want to ask you if you can provide a recent win your team has had that never made the news, just to kind of give people some perspective on, some of the success.
We did a job fair. Our job fair was super successful. We had 10 people that walked out with job interviews and with jobs. And we had 50 people that came. And for our community, that's good. That's a small community like what we got. We get 50 people that's involved in our program to come and seek jobs. That's awesome. So I feel like that was a great win for us. We did some interview preps. We did some mock interviews. And we did some things that we was able to benefit some folks in a way where they can carry that with them for the rest of their life.
So we're getting ready to, close out here, and I just wanted to kind of talk more in terms of like, future oriented kind of aspects of how you think about everything. If you can kind of speak to the imagination and, think about like the ideal scenarios you would want to see for what you're hoping to contribute to in the future. In an ideal world, what future would your work have contributed to?
Well, just based off the work I done done, I do a lot of work around music. So last summer I did something called Cyphers on the Block. Had people come out rapping, they did their thing. We got some studio time, recorded some real production, put it out, shot a video. Video was on a nice platform too. Dude shot for YoungBoy. So we was able to connect in a way on the music side that I saw is very, very instrumental to the work that we doing. Because we understand how much music influences our kids, our culture, and everything that we do. But culture influences music as well. So I don't want to leave that part out. And by doing the Cyphers on the Block, I saw that, hey, man, we need to create spaces for studios. Every neighborhood in my city should have a community hub with a studio in it. Because that's therapy. These kids don't know nothing about going downtown to go sit up and talk to nobody in no chair. No, they therapy is going to the studio, smoking weed, and hanging out with their friends. But if we could switch it up, hey, man, you come to the studio, but after this, bro, we're going to do a healing session where we're going to have conversations and dialogue about life, about conflict, about how to deal with things. And then we're going to help you put your plan together with your music. So we can have a more polished artistry going on within our city and not just promotion of murder and homicide, because that's an issue. If that's all we perpetrating is murder and homicide, then what else do these kids really have to listen to opposed to just sports? When the people playing sports, they look like they want to be rappers. They look like they want to be killers. So how do we get our kids to see the difference between these guys? Because they didn't blend them in so much. When I was a kid, Tracy McGrady was the shit. Kobe Bryant, man, you wouldn't think Kobe Bryant told a pistol. Hell no. Tracy McGrady, Allen Iverson, all these people that we loved growing up, man, these guys didn't give this image of, man, I got a gun. Man, I'll kill. No, these guys gave the image of, man, hey, we're going to play basketball. We trying to be the greatest at our craft. We teaching kids, man, hey, man, if you work hard, this is what you can get. So what happened to that? It happened because, man, our culture accepted things that we shouldn't accept. So what I see this work going to more informed about how we can get back to who we are, more resources, people that's on juveniles, that's been incarcerated, got ankle monitors on, and need some help on how to get that ankle monitor off and help them get jobs and everything that they need for them to have a better life. So I see that with program building around these various things that I just said. We need a music program. The music program don't need to be inside of the dispatching. No, that need to be separate because this is another resource. This resource bring them to that resource. So once we start creating these hubs within our community, like what New Jersey did, I feel like that's when we can start grabbing hold to people that live inside our community and have a safe space for them to come, live, be safe, be liberated, and feel like they have a safe space.
How can people get involved with your organization and help out and make a difference?
They can reach out. They can reach out to me, man. You can reach out to my Instagram page, Knowledge Tyson _. You can look me up on Facebook, Darius Crockett. You can look us up on Instagram again, BR Street Team. You can send us a message. Hey, man, how do I get involved in something like this? You might not even be from my city, but we might be able to direct you to a program that's in your city that does the same work. Hey, man, look, man, you in New Jersey? Well, look, I'm about to call Brother Damon and let Brother Dame talk to you, and brother, you can be able to go work with Brother Dame and do the same work in your city as if you were down here. So anybody that's listening to this, man, if you really want to be involved in your community, if you really, really, really want to be involved with stopping things that's going on, man, tap in with your local community groups that's doing violence prevention, that's doing conflict resolution, that's doing restorative justice. Tap in with them because those people have great information, and that's the boots on the ground folks that's actually doing the work day in and day out.
Lastly, I just want to ask you, why should people take action?
Because, man, it's important, man, because if that was your kid, you would want somebody to take action for your kid. If that was your brother, you would want somebody to help your brother. Everybody knows how to put themselves in each other's shoes. It's just we choose not to. And when we choose not to is when we really ignoring the fact that we all come from the same source. And that's the one living true God. So helping God's people should never be a decline. That should always be a accept. Yes, I accept to help you. Yes, come on, man. Look, bro, I got a job. I'm doing okay. Listen, what you need? GED. Look, go GED school. Go lay the number. I'm going to call her tomorrow. I'm going to let her know what you're going to call her. And, bro, make sure you get up there. And encourage. Instead of putting down. The encouragement of our community, man, is very, very important, man. Our words hold weight. Things that you say, man, can really change somebody's life or could destroy somebody's life. So that's how I would end that, brother.
Well, thanks, Darius, for coming on. We're so lucky to have people like yourself and the organization you're a part of doing the work that you do in the community. Thanks to you, others might be able to see what else is possible. We're wishing you well, and we'll catch all of our listeners on the next episode of Don't Cop Out. Don't cop out. Not as Tyson. Already. Thanks so much for this, Darius. This was really, really amazing. You were able to add a lot of perspective and fill in the blanks, I think, for a lot of people. So this has just been really amazing. You really killed it. I appreciate you. Man, thank you, brother. This was awesome. This was awesome. With production support from Zane Murdoch and Leslie Taylor Grover, Don't Cop Out is produced by Sydney Smith, Darren Wallace, and Lynn Webb, who also edits the show. Our executive producers are Lily Workman and me, your host, William C. Anderson. Don't Cop Out is a product of PushBlack, the country's largest nonprofit black media company. You help make PushBlack possible with your donations at www.pushblack.us/don'tcopout. Most people give $5 or $10 a month, but every contribution helps and is greatly appreciated. Thank you for supporting our work.